You are live. That's what it says right there on my screen. It is live with less time. There'll be a handful of folks join us here in a little bit, and then it will grow as the hours roll by and the days go by into several hundred, several thousand, more often than not. And we're always proud of that and happy about that and glad for that. Tonight, we've got a special program. I'm going to be going into my archives, my personal interview archives back to 1980. Try to remember where I did this particular interview from. I can't remember. It may have been in Chicago around Medina Temple. Could have been at South Bend Morris Civic Auditorium. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 100% sure I've got the interview on cassette tape from 1980. And tonight we're going to feature some of my interview with James Blackwood. And I've got James, Cecil, and Ken Turner of the Blackwood Brothers. That is a part of that. But we're just going to listen to some of my interview with James Blackwood tonight. Now, the next time we do a Blackwood Brother special feature, we're going to continue that interview with James. That we'll eventually get to Cecil. We'll eventually get to Ken Turner, and you'll enjoy all of that. But we've got James tonight. We're going to feature, since the interview was done in 1980, I am going to feature music from the Blackwood Brothers recorded in 1980. How about that? We're going to coincide the year with the year of their music with the year of the interview. Okay. Let's see here. We've got, I've been in the studio all day with Darren Abear of the Williamsons, recording some bass vocalization on their brand new album, which is going to be great. And we've been doing that all day. And we're going to be at it all day tomorrow, starting at 7 a.m. in the studio. It's going to be early morning tomorrow morning. But it's all going to be good. Excited about that. Okay, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3 people with us tonight. Just before I went on live, I got notifications from about 100 different people going on and doing a Facebook Live show right this very minute with me. So they probably have 3 people. I have 3 people. And by the time there's 100 of them, that's 300 people watching some Southern gospel music stuff. So that's very cool. Let's see here. I left this album back here. Where did it go? I'm going to talk to you about why this album is back here in just a moment. We'll do that in a moment. But first, let me do all of my pitches. We'll start with somebody just sent me an email wanting to know where they can get one of these. I think we're down to like 4 or 5 now. And you can go to butlermusicgroup.com and then click on the store and bang, zoom, voila, it will be right there. And this is, as it says right here, Facebook Live with Les, Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories, and Ministry. And this is the pre-COVID Les, 50 pounds heavier, right there. Pre-COVID Les, post-COVID Les, 50 pounds less. There you go, right there. So go check it out in the store, okay? Let's see what else we can tell you about. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is just being built. It's not even close to being completely built yet. It is probably 1% or less built. You say, okay, why don't I want to subscribe to that? You don't even have anything on it yet. Oh, I probably have several hundred hours worth of Southern gospel stuff on there already. By the time it's through, it's going to be the place where you want to go on YouTube for Southern gospel music, for real Southern gospel music. Real Southern gospel music. There'll be a day when I'm going to explain why I keep talking about real Southern gospel music, because I got some things up my sleeve that I'm working on. So real Southern gospel music. Old Time Preachers Quartet, go check out our dates this upcoming Sunday morning. We're going to be at Middle Tennessee Baptist Church in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I will be with them on that date. Then that afternoon, we're going to be at Fair Havens Baptist Church in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at 1:30. So come out and be with us. Then Tuesday night, we're going to be at Sweetwater at Thingavabob Baptist Church. I can't remember the name of it. Go check it out on oldtimepreachersquartet.com, and then just check out our dates, oldtimepreachersquartet.com. And Wednesday night, you're going to be in Georgia somewhere. Check it all out at oldtimepreachersquartet.com. All right, let's see. Okay, we told you about the store. You can go get all of our CDs, Quartet CDs, my CDs, some CDs from the record label as well, and all kinds of other things there, the mug and the book that I wrote on hymns, How They Suit Me Fine. And I've got a bunch of my favorite Southern gospel music artists and preachers and even some of my country music and bluegrass music friends that love these old hymns of the church, and they are telling in my book why they love their particular favorite hymn. The book turned out really well. I'm very proud of it, and if you don't have it, you need to get that you can find at the store at butlermusicgroup.com and click on the store. Okay, Singing News Fan Awards. Very happy for one of my family music group artists, Heart to Heart. They are up for New Artist of the Year. So go and vote for them. If you don't have someone else in that category that you like in particular, I would appreciate it if you would vote for Heart to Heart. Don't forget that. You can also look on my Facebook page, and I don't know if it's up there yet or not. It might be the June schedule may be up. If it's not up today, it'll probably be up tomorrow. Got lots of cool things going to happen in June. And in June, I am changing my, and mark this down, don't forget it. I'm going to change the time that I'm doing my shows in June, just to test a couple things out. Going to go to 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay? So that's Live with Les is going to be changing hours for the month of June. 2021 Diamond Awards. Don't forget to go to Scoops Magazine, their online magazine, and vote for all of my artists in the Scoops Diamond Awards, all my Butler Music Group and Family Music Group artists. On the Family Music Group side, you've got the Williamsons, and you've got Old Time Preachers Quartet. You've got myself. You've got Barry Rowland and Deliverance, Heart to Heart. On the bluegrass side, we've got Heaven's Mountain Band and the Marksman Quartet. Two of the very best artists in bluegrass gospel music, and I am blessed to have them as part of my label and being on our team. And I'm very blessed with that. And on the Southern gospel side, folks, with the exception of me, I don't consider myself the best by any stretch. But everybody else in there, pretty good. Old Time Preachers Quartet, they're not the worst quartet in the world. And the Williamsons, they are, in fact, the best mixed quartet in Southern gospel music, period. Not even close to, nobody can touch them. And Heart to Heart and Barry Rowland mixed trios, the two best in Southern gospel music. Mm-hmm. Absolutely fantastic. So vote for them if you would in the Diamond Awards, okay? All right, that's enough of that. Now let me see here. Before we get started, so tonight's show, hello to my Aunt Sue. Hello, Brother Daryl from Arkansas. Arkansas? What are you doing in Arkansas, Daryl? You're from Florida. For those of you who know what the show's about tonight, I may have said it already at the beginning. James Blackwood, my interview I did with him in 1980. Going to play some snippets of that. And then we're also going to play some Blackwood Brother music from 1980. But before all of that, I just want to give a tip of the microphone and a salute to our departed friend, Ronnie Hutchins of the Inspirations, who died yesterday. And I just want to just do a couple things. I want to show you a couple things. I'm going to play a song by him. So here he is with the Inspirations. He is the one next to Martin Cook, Ronnie Hutchins. This is going back to the 60s, a member of the original Inspirations. Look at that. Look how young these people are. Troy looks like he's 5. Archie looks like he's 7. Jack looks like he's about 12. Ronnie looks like he's about 10. And Martin looks like he may be 25. And there they are, the Inspirations Quartet. And Ronnie is next to Martin. So I just wanted to kind of give a tip of the microphone and tell you all about Ronnie Hutchins. He went home to be with the Lord yesterday. You probably already knew that. Now, okay, so here he was with the Inspirations. Now, a lot of you may not know this, but when he left the Inspirations to go with this group right here, the Lefevres. And that is Ronnie over here. Over there, there's Ronnie. And right there is Janet Paschal. Now, I know Janet Paschal. You know Janet, the blonde Paschal. That's Janet, not the blonde Paschal. And there's Ronnie next to Janet, part of the Lefevres back in the mid-70s. What about that? And this is the album, too, that had Here They Come and The Seeker, which was a big song for Rex Nealon. He took that song with him when he took the Lefevres over and changed the name to the Nealons. This album also had Ed O'Neill's song, When I Cross to the Other Side of Jordan. That one, that's on this. This is a great record right here. So there's Ronnie Ronnie Hutchins with the Inspirations. There's Ronnie with the Lefevres. And now I am going to play a song that has Ronnie featured from one of the most popular albums the Inspirations ever recorded. This is the album, It's Still the Blood. That It's Still the Blood is probably the biggest song that they've ever had. Next time I'm with Mike, well, I'll be with Mike Sunday. I'll ask him that. He could tell us that. And that's Ron right there next to Mike Holcomb. He is seated next to Mike. That is Ronnie Hutchins there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a song that featured him from that album right now. So this is the Inspirations with Ronnie Hutchins singing the lead on a song called Lord, I Want to Be a Blessing. The Inspirations with Ronnie Hutchins. Again, Ronnie went home to be with the Lord last night. We give him a salute on Live with Les tonight.
Lord, as the morning sunbeams bring the warmth and light and drive away the shadows lingering from night, your love will do the same if we will let it shine through. As I go about today, there's just one thing I want to do. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. Just a smile perhaps will do to help them on their way. Maybe lend a helping hand or a kind word to say. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. May I not look so far away that I can't see the hands that are reaching out so close to me. When I lay my head upon the pillow tonight, may I have the peace of knowing that what I tried to do was right. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. Just a smile perhaps will do to help them on their way. Maybe lend a helping hand or a kind word to say. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. Just a smile perhaps will do to help them on their way. Maybe lend a helping hand or a kind word to say. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. maybe lend a helping hand or a kind word to say. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today.
Isn't that good? Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. And you know what? Here's, I'm going to get these. This is Live with Les, Southern Gospel Music, Memorabilia, Memories, and Ministry. And we normally put the ministry at the end of the program. Sometimes it gets there in the middle, and so no telling, it just kind of goes everywhere. But we're going to get it out of the way early tonight. And here's the ministry part. It's going to be simple. Normally I'll go to the Bible. I'm not going to the Bible tonight, even. And no specific. I'm not calling any preachers. They're not going to be on here. Here's the ministry tonight. I want to take it from that song. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. Here's what I want you to do. Now, if you're watching live, it's night. It's nighttime, but it's not real late. So if you're watching it live here, I want you to text, or really, I'd rather you call. Text or email if that's all you really feel like you can do. But call somebody if you can tonight and tell them what a blessing they've been to you in your life. Now, that is the ministry part of Live with Les tonight. Simple. But I've done that for people, and I've been the recipient of that kind of sentiment. And it is, you never know. Whenever you tell someone what they've done for you and what kind of blessing they've been to you, you don't know what they're going through right now. And that may be the very word of encouragement that they need to hear, that will get them through whatever valley they're going through right now. So I want you to promise me you are going to do that to someone. If you're watching live, do it tonight. Now, if you're watching it, if you catch it later tonight on a replay on my Facebook page, and you're watching it at 2 a.m, do not call me this morning at 2 o'clock to tell me what a blessing I am to you, because I'll tell you what kind of a blessing you are to me at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I want you to promise to do that tonight. If you're watching it on a replay, do it at an appropriate time of the day, okay? If you're watching it late at night, wait till the next morning. Jot down the name. Don't forget it. Jot it down so you won't forget. But I'm going to take a cue from that inspiration song from our friend Ronnie Hutchins, who went home to be with the Lord yesterday. Lord, I want to be a blessing to someone today. Promise me you'll do it, okay? All right, now, I just wanted to do that at the very beginning. Now I want to go into all this Blackwood Brothers stuff that I was telling you about, okay? Let me say hey to everybody first. Hey to Aunt Sue. Hey, Daryl Sheely, visiting in-laws. That's why you're in Arkansas? They live in Arkansas, huh? Well, all right then. I was in Arkansas one time, and I wasn't impressed, but now, if you're from Arkansas, don't get mad at me. I was there. I drove through some desolate area for about 3 hours. And I'm sure Arkansas has got all kinds of incredible stuff in people and places and things. So I'm sure it's great. But I'm just telling you, the 3 hours I spent in Arkansas, not so much. Unless, now, here you go. If I could have stopped long enough to fish, I'd have been in good shape. I passed a bunch of ponds. Not big lakes, not rivers, not creeks, but fish ponds for this 3 hours I was in Arkansas. And boy, if I had a fishing pole and just some worms or some crickets or something, I think I would have tore up Jack. And then I'd have a much better outlook on what I saw in Arkansas. But instead, I just drove through and it was pretty desolate. So anyway, Daryl, enjoy the in-laws. Jenny Hayes, good evening, brother. Joy Holden, I can hear Troy. Oh, Troy Burns was singing on that. Oh, yeah. Joy Holden, I promise. Joy, do it. That's good. Thank you. Nathan Morris, you've been a blessing to me, Brother Les. I have others I will call later. Brother Nathan, thank you for that. That's a kind thing, and please call them. Linda Crowder, hello, Brother Les. Hello, Miss Linda. Now, Blackwood Brothers, here we go. All right, let me get this right here. I need to do this. You know I do everything, right? You know that already. This was back in 1980, and I'm trying to remember if we were maybe backstage at Medina Temple in Chicago, or if we were at Morris Civic Auditorium in South Bend? I honestly don't remember. But I interviewed James Blackwood, Cecil Blackwood, Ken Turner of the Blackwood Brothers. That would be the daddy of one Kenna Turner, super songwriter, Kenna Turner, her daddy. And she would have been just a pup back then. I mean, like in the single digits. Little old bitty thing way back when. But so did James's tonight. So I'm going to play some Blackwood Brother music from 1980. But we're going to talk to James here. So the very first thing that I asked James back in 1980 was, did he ever get tired of traveling? And by the way, I got to tell you something. If I could turn this camera around and you could see what's surrounding me here, I have stacks of electronic gear going up almost to my ceiling and things everywhere. We are adding things, deleting things, redoing things, and everything is in such a disarray that I'm about to pull what little bit of hair that I have out. So I have got to contort my body in such a way that it's unbelievable to get to this tape deck right now. And my back is killing me. So pray that I don't throw my back out anymore, and pray that I can hit these right buttons here and everything will be okay. All right. So I hope, here's James Blackwood talking about traveling.
Well, I get tired of traveling sometimes and being away from home. I never got tired of singing. I never got tired of witnessing, ministering to people. And that's what really keeps us going is when we go on a platform at night before an audience, I realize that there are people there that possibly the first time they've ever heard the gospel, possibly some that'll hear it for the last time, and very probably some that that would be the night when the Holy Spirit would speak to their hearts, particularly that they should give their hearts and lives to the Lord if someone witnesses to them about salvation and gives them the opportunity to accept Jesus. So there is quite a responsibility, I think, upon ministers and people who are in the ministry to always to present the gospel, to give people a chance to accept the Lord. And this is a new challenge every night. And so that's what really keeps us going.
James Blackwood of the Blackwood Brothers talking about traveling and touring and how, the travel part is tiring, which God knows that it is. That's a fact. But the fact that we're on a mission beyond just singing a few songs in front of people and being on a stage and having a spotlight shined on us as musicians and singers, it's all about taking the gospel of Christ to the world. And James Blackwood is spot on with that, is what I'm trying to tell you right there. He's spot on with that. So, more of that James Blackwood interview in just a moment. But I'm going to go to this album. The Blackwood, well, everybody did, but the Blackwood Brothers especially recorded what seemed to be like every few days. For example, I have that I'll be playing tonight, 3 albums that they recorded in 1980. And I think I've got a 4th one they recorded in 1980, but I can't quite run the dates on it yet. But I know of these 3, it's stamped 1980. And it's unbelievable. They recorded all the time. Now it's something if a group will send out, get an album out every 2 to 3 years. They did 3 or 4 a year. And here is one of 3 I'm going to feature tonight. And since we're talking about James Blackwood, I am going to let him be the featured vocalist on a song written by Shirley Cantrell that was recorded by the Florida Boys as a hit and the Cathedrals. It's called Jesus is Right for Whatever's Wrong in Your Life.
Whatever's wrong in your life. Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Just give him a chance and Jesus will prove that every promise he made is true. For Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Before I met Jesus, my life was empty and vain, and nothing looking ahead, could I see but sorrow and pain? But then at an altar one night I knelt, and I found assurance that never has left, and Jesus was right for what was wrong in my life. Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Just give him a chance and Jesus will prove that every promise he made is true. For Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Just give him a chance and Jesus will prove that every promise he made is true. For Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. Well, Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life.
Well, does anybody agree with that? That Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life, whatever that is? If you're sin sick, there's no other answer. Now, if you're physically sick, sometimes a doctor can have an answer. And sometimes the doctor cannot help you. It's right about those times that Jesus is right for whatever is wrong in your life. Amen. Blackwood Brothers. Shirley Cantrell wrote that one. And everybody and their brothers and their Blackwood Brothers recorded that back in the day. Great version by the Florida Boys. Great version by the Mighty Cats, the Cathedrals. They had a great version of that wonderful Shirley song. Jesus is right for whatever's wrong in your life. So we're in 1980. I'm either at Morris Civic Auditorium in South Bend or at the Medina Temple in Chicago. And I'm interviewing James and Cecil Blackwood and Ken Turner of the Blackwood Brothers. And so we already talked to James about traveling in Southern gospel music. And now I'm going to talk to James about really digging in a little more into the ministry part of it and salvations and folks that they have seen saved throughout the world, because the Blackwood Brothers, they toured the world. They didn't tour America. They toured the world. And so got a question about that from James Blackwood, and let's see what he has to say about that.
Oh, I haven't the wildest guess. I started singing when I was 7 years old, and we started our group when I was 15. That's been 46 years ago that we started our group. And just millions of people, of course, that we have sung to through the years. But I really wouldn't even have a wild guess as to how many have accepted the Lord. I wish now, of course, we had kept some sort of count through the years, but back through the years when you're starting, or early years even at least, we had no idea that, it would go this long. Mm-hmm. So, but it's been a great 4 to 6 years for me that our group has been singing and ministering and preaching the gospel, and many thousands of people, of course, have come to the Lord in our meetings, for which we're thankful. Then there's no way really to estimate those who have come to the Lord through our records, our radio ministry, and television ministry. These are just uncounted people, but many out there. We got letters from many, but I'm sure there are many people who do not write.
James Blackwood of the Blackwood Brothers, talking about their ministry and the salvations that they've seen throughout the world. And he said, I wish we would have kept track of some things, track of some numbers, as we did some of our crusades, especially out throughout the world. And he said that they hadn't, but I would say there's been a bunch. And aren't you glad for that? That some singers and preachers will not only do it right there in their backyard, but will take the gospel of Christ literally around the world. And Blackwood Brothers have done that. James is talking about that. Now, how about another song? That happened in 1980, okay? 1980. And we're going to continue to play music from the Blackwood Brothers that they recorded in that same year of 1980. And I tell you, I want to let Ken Turner take this song over. And boy, does he ever take this song over. Listen to the bass singing from one Ken Turner of the Blackwood Brothers on their version of their 1980 version of the song On the Jericho Road. You're going to like this if I can get it set up here. I thought I hit the right button. I didn't. Here it is. Here we go. Now we're talking on the Jericho Road.
As you travel along, on the Jericho Road,
on the Jericho Road,
does the world seem all wrong?
does the world seem all wrong?
And heavy your load,
And heavy your load,
just bring it to Christ.
just bring it to Christ.
Your
Your sins of confess
on the Jericho Road.
on the Jericho Road.
Your heart He will bless.
Your heart He will bless.
On the Jericho Road.
On the Jericho Road, there's room for just two, no more and no less.
Just Jesus and you.
Just Jesus and you,
Each burden He'll bear, each sorrow He'll share. There's never a care.
For Jesus is there.
for Jesus is there. On the Jericho Road, there's room for just two, no more and no less. Just Jesus and you, each burden He'll bear, each sorrow He'll share. There's never a care.
For Jesus
For Jesus is there.
That ain't right. Ken Turner of the Blackwood Brothers, as recorded in 1980 on the Jericho Road. I don't know what happened, but my camera got all fuzzy all of a sudden. Something has happened. There, it's better. I know what happened. Ken Turner hit such a low bass note that it made my camera freak out. That's what happened. Way to go. Thanks, Ken. What about, and by the way, that trumpet business, that's Ken Turner doing that with his mouth. I don't know how he does it, but he does it so well. And what a bass singer. Music from the Blackwood Brothers in 1980 on the Jericho Road. Did you like that? Let's see what else we have here. We've got, who else is on here with us? We got Daryl says, I went to my first ever Southern Gospel concert at Morris Civic Auditorium in South Bend, Indiana. Get out of here, Daryl. You may have mentioned that to me one other time before, maybe. Not sure. Who'd you go see and what year was it? There's a good chance, because we're close in age, there's a good chance I was there, Daryl. And probably backstage doing these very interviews that you're listening to right now. How cool is that? Hello, Mike Keller. Good evening, Brother Les. Good evening, Brother Mike. I prayed for you today. Heard that you were a bit under the weather, Brother Mike. And so I'm praying that you are feeling better today. The key is changing, Joy said. I don't know what that means, Joy. Patty Graham, hey, Brother Les. Hello there, Patty. And Joy goes, wow. I bet you the wow was on that road. Ken Turner's, whatever that was, double OC or something like that. I don't know what it was, but it was something else. Okay. So, all right. Okay. One more interview, piece of interview here from James Blackwood, either at Morris Civic Auditorium in South Bend, Indiana, or at the Medina Temple in Chicago, Illinois. And I don't remember which one. When you've gone as many places as I've gone and been as many places and interviewed as many people I have over 41 and a half years, you just forget some stuff. And I have forgotten this one. But I'm so glad that I have some of these recorded from over the decades. And this is cool stuff to me. And I hope you're enjoying it. Now, so we talked to James about the salvations and the presentation of the gospel of Christ that they did all around the world. And so I talked about the countries and asked him about the number of countries and some of the countries that they've been in. And so let's just see what James Blackwood has to tell me about their travels.
35 or 36 foreign countries, and that includes Russia. We've been into the Soviet Union 3 times. We've been over most of Europe, much of the Middle East, some of North Africa, and quite a bit of the Far East as well. Our trip next year overseas will be, the primary country will be Red China. Yeah, first trip there. Now that they are open, we were there went in '78 to the Far East, but we were refused visas into Red China at that time. However, at that time we did sing and minister in Taiwan, and also in South Korea, in the Philippines, Hong Kong, Japan. But we do have clearance now to get into Red China in 1981, so we're looking forward to that.
Of all the foreign countries.
Hello, that is James Blackwood of the Blackwood Brothers, and that's going back to, I'm not sure when that's going back to, 1980, but I don't remember where it was located, either in South Bend or Chicago, one of the two. And so talking about those countries where they've been to present the gospel of Christ. Isn't that great? It's wonderful. I love that. Okay, so we've got one more song that we're going to play from the Blackwood Brothers from that very year in 1980. Okay. And this was a big old to-do record. I forgot. Matter of fact, I think it's in Cecil's interview with me where he talks about this album right here. It's called We Come to Worship. You see, that's just, kind of a plain looking black cover. And then you see the back and it's kind of the same. It gives you all the song titles on there. But when you open this jewel up, whoo-wee, that's a bunch of Blackwood Brothers right there. And this, for 1980, it was Ken Turner singing bass. Let me see if I can, this will be a little bit better for me to do it like this. It was Ken Turner singing bass. Okay, now Ken is right there. And then Cecil singing baritones right there. And of course, James, he's down there. And James's son, Jimmy's right there. Steve Cox was singing tenor. And then Tommy Fairchild, right here, was their piano player and was their piano player for many, many, many years. So that was the Blackwood Brothers in 1980. But this album right here was a big old deal. And look, they put a bunch of money into the production, into the, the picture and the graphics and double album thing. Although it wasn't a double album, it was a single album. But it was a big production thing. And I think Cecil even talked about the money and in how many stations they sent a copy of this album to. It was thousands, I think. And I think in my interview with Cecil, he gives me some of that detail. It was really something else. But we're going to play a song from this album, which was the most popular song, I believe. I think they had 2 big hits from this record. We Come to Worship, which was the title track. And then the third cut on side 2 that featured Jimmy Blackwood. That is James's son, Jimmy Blackwood of the Blackwood Brothers. And it was a very country sounding thing, especially for the Blackwood Brothers. They didn't do a lot of country sounding stuff. It was very traditional quartet music for them. Very traditional quartet music for them. Before there were soundtracks and all that. It was a piano player and 4 vocalists. I'm talking about traditional quartet music. But boy, they put a bunch of money into the production on this album. And the big hit was kind of a country sounding thing that Jimmy sang called I Never Gave Up. The Blackwood Brothers on this, well, again, I'm doing everything. And so when you do everything, you know what you do? You mess things up like I'm doing right now. But we're going to get close here, I promise you. Here it is, the Blackwood Brothers, a song called I Never Gave Up. It's from this album, We Come to Worship. The Blackwood Brothers on Live with Les.
I never gave up one moment of living when I gave my life to Him. I never gave up anything worthwhile, yet He gave me all He had for all my sin. I gave Him my ambitions and the greatness I desired. I gave Him all the future I could see. I gave Him my achievements and the trophies I had won. He gave me the right to be His son. I never gave up one moment of living when I gave my life to Him. I never gave up anything worthwhile, yet He gave me all He had for all my sin. I gave Him my possessions and the family that I love, handed Him the keys to take control. Gave Him all those places and the people I had known. He gave back to me 100-fold. I never gave up one moment of living when I gave my life to Him. I never gave up anything worthwhile, yet He gave me all He had for all my sin. I never gave up one moment of living when I gave my life to Him. I never gave up anything worthwhile, yet He gave me all He had for all my sin. Gave me all He had for all my sin.
Jimmy Blackwood of the Blackwood Brothers from the album We Come to Worship. Now, obviously, that wasn't the Blackwood Brothers. That was a solo thing that Jimmy did, that he did on this Blackwood Brother album. And just to further kind of show you the kind of money they put into this record in 1980, for example, it was produced by Mark Blackwood, Cecil's son, but the arranger for this album was Tony Brown. Now, if you don't know Tony Brown, you kind of know Tony Brown, or you've never heard any music at all, because Tony goes back to, in the Southern Gospel days, back to J.D. Sumner and the Stamps, piano player for them. But he is one of the top producers and has been for the last 40 years in country music, producing huge hits for people like Vince Gill. And I mean, it's just a long list of folks. And so he was the arranger on this album, and they recorded it, for example, in Orlando, in studios in Orlando, Florida, Hendersonville, Tennessee, Bill Gaither's place there in Alexandria, and top players and top everything. And they had background vocals galore, like you just heard on the cut that I played from Jimmy, including Greg Gordon, Nora Lee Allen, which is Dwayne Allen's wife, Dwayne Allen of the Oak Ridge Boys, and Tony Brown himself, the fellow I was just telling you about, that's Vince Gill's producer and produced for everybody, and Judy Breland, Joy McGuire, and Ken Turner, Tommy Fairchild, James Blackwood, doing background stuff. And so this was some kind of record, and this was record-breaking stuff in 1980, the Blackwood Brothers, We Come to Worship. So I hope you've enjoyed the interview that I did with James Blackwood, either at Morris Civic Auditorium in South Bend or Medina Temple in Chicago, Illinois. And as we continue this show, if the Lord tarries, then we're going to be giving you more of that interview with James. And he does a presentation of the gospel that is absolutely stellar and spot on. And I'm going to listen to Cecil Blackwood, that interview, and Ken Turner as well. And just great stuff from back in 1980, over 41 years ago, here on Live with Les. I hope you've enjoyed that. Let's see who else is on here with us tonight. Let's see. Mike says he's feeling better. Amen. That's good. Joy says, yes, bass. Wow. I thought it was a real trumpet. No, it was Ken Turner going like he does. It sounds like a real trumpet. Talented man. Funny man. Funny man. Daryl says 1984 Kingsman Silver Anniversary, Kingsman Kings Boys Masters 5. Daryl, I was there backstage. And as a matter of fact, I have interviews from back then that's in my library that we will bust loose one day. Dave Compton, legendary Les, great stuff. Oh, Dave. You're way too kind to me, but thank you. God bless you, brother. Mike Keller, my medicine messed up with me first thing. Well, medicine will do that to you. It's supposed to help you. Sometimes it hurts you. All good now. That's good. Dave, Les, do you have the Blackwood Brothers song, More of You, when John Cox was there? Well, hold on. I don't know, Dave. More of You, More of You, More of You. More of You is not on that one. More of You, More of You, More of You, More of You is not on that one. Now I've got more albums. I've got like literally 100 and some Blackwood Brother records. More of You, More of You, More of You, More of You is not on this one. So I don't have that one handy. I probably have it, Dave, but I'm sorry I don't have it handy. Tony, I think, was a Winston-Salem native up in your neck of the woods there, Dave. And I think you're right. I think he's a native of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Do you have any last questions, any thoughts, questions, comments? Let me know right now or forevermore hold your peace. The next Live with Les is sometime. Maybe Saturday. Is that the one that's going to be live with Tim Rabin? If it is, my goodness, whatever you do, do not miss that one. Tim Rabin is going to be sitting right here with me. And he's going to bring his guitar and he's going to sing some songs that I have asked him to sing, some of which he's written. I'm going to ask him to do one that Kyla Rowland wrote. But let me tell you, Tim has written a couple of songs that are wow. To borrow Joy Holden's phrase on the Ken Turner bass singing, I'm going to borrow that. It's wow music from Tim Rabin. So if you're well, I mean, he's a bluegrass guy. So if you're a bluegrasser, you're going to love My Time with Tim. But more, I mean, he can do it all. Matter of fact, he's singing tenor on my latest solo album. He's singing tenor on a couple of quartet tunes and knocking it out of the park. He's an uber talented man, singer, songwriter, musician. Tim Rabin will be with me this Saturday. Okay. And I think it's 1 Central, 1 in the afternoon Central, 2 Eastern. And if you miss it, please go back and watch this. You've just got to do it. And I may scrub along with him on a mandolin or a dobro or something, or I don't know, or maybe not. I don't know. I may just boo-hoo and wave a hanky in the air. We're apt to have church on Saturday, so be a part of that. Okay. That is it. So tomorrow, I tell you what, tomorrow I might do a little surprise Facebook Live, just jump on for a few minutes when we're in the studio with super duper bass singer Darren A. Bear of the Williamsons. We are recording the bass vocal on their brand new shiny album, and it's fantastic. and it's going to be great, just like the Williamsons. So I may come to you tomorrow sometime live from the studio with Darren Abear, and Donnie is with him, Donnie Williamson of the Williamsons. So stay tuned. It's apt to happen. Okay. God bless you all. Would you all do me a favor? Two things. Share this show so others can listen to this interview I did with James Blackwood 41 years ago and hear this great Blackwood Brother Quartet music. And then the other thing is as I said early on, right after I played this song from the Inspirations, Lord, I want to be a blessing. Call someone tonight that has been a blessing to you in your life. It can be a mom, dad, brother, sister, daughter, son, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, next door neighbor, your pastor, somebody from your past. It doesn't matter who, just somebody that's been a blessing to you in your life. Text and email them if you must, but it would sure be a wonderful thing if they heard from you directly. And that's the ministry for tonight. You never know what that kind word might do to that person who may be, you don't even know this, but they may be going through one of the darkest valleys of their life this very moment. But because you bless me by doing as I'm asking, which is to call someone and tell them that they've been a blessing to you, that call may be the very thing that God uses to get them out of a valley and back doing God's work and back sowing seed and back just doing whatever it is that they need to be doing for the cause of Christ. And it may be just because you gave them that little bit of encouragement. That's the other thing I want you to do tonight. Would you do it? I would appreciate it. God bless you. Lord willing, we will see you on Saturday. I don't know if we've got a Facebook Live before then or not. Check out my page. As soon as I go off here, just scroll down. You'll see the May schedule. And whatever is next, be a part of it, okay? God bless you all. Have a wonderful